Recently had my first cookbook published with Minnesota Historical Society, and it's all about food traditions that Swedish immigrants brought with them 120 years ago to our region. The Swedish in my family comes from my dad's side, the Johnson. My grandpa Johnson was a really big influence in my life. He was very, very important. I've got 4 older sisters, and he raised us to believe we were Swedish princesses, or at least I was raised to believe I was a Swedish princess. And he was such a part of that identity that I don't know that I could even take apart my grandpa and my feelings of Swedishness. They're so interlocked, and it was a way of honoring the past, honoring the people who brought us here, by cherishing those traditions and eating the foods that we've always had. For over 100 years, somebody in my family has been making the Swedish meatballs. I think of my 4 sisters, only 2 of us carry on the meatball tradition, and it's still part of our identity. I just was raised to believe it was special, and it is special because it's my family, it's my heritage. So I came with all these misconceptions about what Scandinavian food was, and I had my very first meal at Restaurant Aquavit. My friend and I had the tasting menu, and we were so blown away that we didn't even speak for the first 5 courses. It was the spiritual, religious experience for us, because the food was not only beautiful, but it was just such a balance. And not only did I have a misconception about what Nordic food was or Scandinavian food was, I also had a real misconception about what Swedishness was, because I thought Swedish people looked like me. And here was this chef running Restaurant Aquavit, Chef Marcus Samuelsson, who was born in Ethiopia, raised in Göteborg, Sweden, and now is American, living in Harlem. Looks nothing like me, but he is Swedish. He is signed, sealed, delivered Swedish. And so it really caused me to see where my misconceptions were and how awesome the reality was. And I got excited about learning more about not just Swedishness and Swedish food, but that the whole Nordic culture in general. Nordic food is a balance. It's a balance of flavor and taste and color and texture. I think New Nordic is a funny term because it is really looking back to the old, explaining how the whole New Nordic philosophy began with several chefs and people in the food industry who wanted to say, this is what Nordic food should be, and this is how it should represent our culture. Being thoughtful about what you cook, when you cook it, where it comes from. These are really important values, I think, that describe the way I would like to live.